Spreading bullshit, whatever the cause, but the translation's been lost.
Something about that didn't sound right.
Yeah, I think I might have come in a little off key, to be fair.
Oh, I thought it sounded like the mandolin.
It could have been the mandolin either, man. We never know. And we never will know because we just do it once through and then that's it. It's over.
Why would we ever put effort into that?
On with the rest of the show.
Yeah, and now we don't need the mandolin again. So
Exactly, yeah. So you can just leave it down there on the ground. You know, it doesn't matter. You can step on it if you wanted to.
Smash it.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Well, now we'll never use it again, Brian. You fucked it. I know.
No, I hit the table.
Yeah.
That's the magic of podcasts.
Yeah.
Special effects. Movie magic.
Movie magic. Auditory movie magic.
We are Translation Lost,
Mm-hmm.
a podcast that always remembers to introduce itself at the start of the episode.
Oh, yeah. We're on
we
point
watch
with that lately.
foreign language movies with no subtitles and then try and talk about them,
Yeah.
even if those movies don't have any dialogue.
Yeah, which is what was the case this week. I'm
Yes.
Dara.
I'm Brian.
Yeah, and there we go. That's a pretty good intro, I'd say.
Get all my things
pretty
together.
solid.
I've got like a
Yeah, you've got a whole
control room
you've got a
here,
whole area. You've got because in front of you've got like a laptop. You've got like your mouse.
Yeah.
Then you've got your mic, obviously, and this like sheet of paper with some notes on it from Ali. And then behind you, within arm's reach, more or less within arm's reach, is like the dual screen computer.
Yeah.
And in front of me is a vape which is plugged into your laptop.
Yeah.
A 5-pack of Blue Spark Tesco energy drink and a full thing of these Nutella
Be ready.
wafery things.
Yeah,
these
they're
Be Readies.
damn good.
Yeah, so I think we both have an equally impressive table ahead of us right now.
So it's been 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks.
It's been the same
Yeah,
amount of time as it always is, but it always feels like it's been longer.
Yeah, I don't know what that's
know
about,
why.
man. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
alright. I was thinking about this earlier on, man. It is really hard to summarize your 2 weeks, you know?
Especially when you did nothing.
Yeah, well, yeah. But yeah, like, it's been grand. The weather got nice there for the last little stretch.
Yeah,
Which is,
this week in particular.
yeah.
Has been very good.
Yeah, and I've been in work through all of it, which is pretty depressing. But you and I, and your family, we ate dinner outside in the sun this evening after I got here. It was fucking wonderful. It was lovely.
Nice that can be a thing that happens now.
Yeah,
Because it's been cold since November.
Oh,
October.
man, October, I'd say. Yeah, and it was a really cold winter, too. It was awful.
It's been winter since then.
Yeah,
And it's just been very depressing.
Yeah, it does depress you, doesn't it? Because
yeah.
the whole world literally looks grey, like, comparatively to what it normally does. Like, today, I was, like, looking around, I was like, man, this is such a colourful country we live in.
Yeah,
you
it's
forget
really nice.
that shit.
Yeah, you forget it after, like, 6 months of winter or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck. Like,
Yeah. Oh, also, in reference to these 5 Blue Spark energy drinks, right? Brian got them for me. He drank one, I presume. Oh, no, it disappeared. We don't know where it went.
It disappeared
Yeah.
this morning at some point.
Who knows?
And I was tired when I woke up, but that's why I didn't notice it disappearing.
Yeah. You were none the wiser. But Finn started giving me shit the other day in the group chat about how I still haven't drank all those energy drinks. So I drank a Monster a little earlier on.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to drink these 5 as fast as I can. And that's going to be the end of it. He can't bitch and moan about this fucking
You're
bet
going
anymore.
to die tonight.
Yep. Yeah, this is it. This is the episode where Dara dies halfway through.
Yeah.
Just has a heart attack. Would you carry on? Would you keep talking about fucking...
I'd talk about you
what's it
having a
called
heart
again?
attack for a while, and then I'd realize that when I have no one to bounce off, I'm kind of boring, because I don't talk that much. Yeah, it's not great, right?
It's not great.
Could
and
have picked a better one, but
it's very cold as well, which is not helping with the trying to chug thing.
it's very cheap, though.
Yeah, but I'll knock them down as quickly as I can.
Yeah.
I'll announce it when I have successfully knocked them down. But do you know what would help me drink these a lot faster is if I would ask you how your week was.
Oh, my week has been busy,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't usually say that. But we're sorting out a lot of stuff at the moment with things that are happening.
Yeah.
Going to Japan.
Yeah.
It's going to be sick.
For a second, I was like, is he not
No,
telling people that? What's the story? Yeah.
We're going to Japan in July.
I'm
No,
not. I'm not
Dara's
part of
not,
this week.
I am.
Yeah.
Me and Ali, our researcher.
Mm-hmm.
We've really become close over the last few weeks of doing the podcast, and
it's very unprofessional, your relationship. Actually, I've been meaning to call you on it. No.
So yeah, we were sorting that out, and because we're staying in more than one city, so there's a lot of
Wandering around and
figuring out how we're gonna get there, like booking things and
That
sorting
shit's
everything
terrifying when you've never actually been to the place.
Yeah.
And you're like looking at like maps of these trains and stuff online, and you're like, oh my god, I hope you lead where you say you lead. I'm so fucked if you don't.
I've done a lot of research, like so much research. I've spent hours and hours like figuring everything out. So I think I'm pretty confident now. I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, well, Japan in particular is pretty complicated. Like,
it's literally the other side of the planet too.
Yeah, because
it's like
you're pretty fucked if something goes wrong. Like,
Yeah.
because I went to Amsterdam last year, but it was like, you know, I loosely figured some stuff out, but it was also like, I hear Amsterdam has like one of the world's most acclaimed public transport system. So I just got there and everything was really easy to figure out.
See, we were right by Central Station and right in the middle of. Remember that street with the burger place on it? We were just at the top of that street.
Yeah.
So there was never really any need to use any public transport. We just kind of walked around and found.
We got
things.
the one one time to the Van Gogh Museum, and then we like
we did that
canal
too.
tour
But I
and
was
stuff
really
just 'cause
hungover. It was
yeah, I
awful.
remember hearing this story.
Yeah, I was an asshole the entire day because I just had like a pain in my stomach. Amsterdam's great too. But yeah, this is the longest I've ever been somewhere like not in my house.
Yeah.
I've never been away for like more than a week.
That's fucking insane to
We're
me,
going
man.
for 2 weeks.
That's
and
crazy.
It's just me and Ali.
Wow.
Her brother lives over there in one of the cities, but
Yeah.
we'll be going to Tokyo by ourselves, which is going to be awesome, but also a
That's
little
gonna be
bit scary.
Oh yeah, that'll be terrifying. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's a massive
So
city.
my week was mostly sorting that out.
Yeah. Sounds like a stressful time.
It's
But it's a stressful time that will lead to an incredibly relaxing and eye-opening and amazing time. So it's worth it.
Airbnb, to their credit, was like the least intensive thing I've ever had to do because there's so many of them in like Tokyo because it's such a big city.
Yeah.
That it's basically just, well, which nice apartment would you like to stay in? And you start. We were like making we had like a short list of them. We were like, well, I like this one. It's got a balcony.
That's super dope, man.
And then we had to cancel it.
What?
Yeah, we got our first one. We were like, this place is really nice. The guy who owns it will pick you up from the train station and everything. And then we found out it was like 3 hours of trains outside of Tokyo.
Oh, fuck
And we were like, we could get somewhere in Tokyo for the same price, so let's do that instead. And that was stressful, trying to figure that out.
Yeah, that does sound stressful.
But other than that, it's less stressful and more just really exciting.
yeah, I feel you on that front. Yeah. I'm going back to Amsterdam with Leon, as you know.
Yeah.
Still haven't really sorted that. You know.
Seriously, look at Airbnb. It's really good. Prices are excellent.
I was talking to you about this earlier. Airbnb is one of those things that I've heard of so much, particularly lately. And I haven't still, until you explained it to me earlier, I hadn't still really figured out how it works. Like Uber, I don't fully get Uber. I don't get it because I don't do it, obviously, because we can't. It's not a thing here.
It's not allowed here.
Yeah. But it's weird because it's like, I'm vaguely familiar with this, and like I see like comedians and stuff doing jokes about Uber, and I'm like,
that's
I
how you
kind of
know
get
a
it.
comedian has gotten a little bit too when they start doing just jokes about travel and hotels.
Yeah,
and you're like,
this
this is your life now.
Yeah, like man, you need to chill the fuck out on the work.
Yeah,
because you're starting to stop being relatable to me.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Airbnb is really cool though. You get like a full apartment to yourself, or you can get just a room in a house. There was one place we were looking at. It was some dude's apartment, and he was a DJ, and he'd just hang out with you and like play music, but he had no English and stuff.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
That's crazy. We were gonna go for it, but then we were like,
You'd end up spending the whole 2 weeks with this fucking
weird DJ. Yeah.
You're like, man, leave me alone. I want to go explore. Yeah.
So yeah, that was my week. It was really just that and a bit of yard work.
Yeah, you gotta get out and do the yard work while the sun is shining.
So much yard because I'm helping out a family member who's a bit too old for yard work now, so I'm doing all of the yard work, and it's good. You feel like you've done a good day's work after it, but it's intensive, especially in the newfound heat of the country.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day. I need to cut my grass, but I don't know if there's a lawnmower at my house. I need to ask the landlord that. Be like, what's the story there?
Oh, in your
yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a shed there. I haven't opened the door to the shed yet, but I can feel my.
You're gonna find another roommate who lives in that shed.
I met my third roommate the other night. Finally,
after
at
all
long
this,
last. Yeah.
How long have you been living there?
Oh, like surely a month at least. Yeah. Seems perfectly nice. Met him for about 15 minutes, then he left again. Haven't seen him since.
Those are good roommates, dude. Yeah. You never fucking see them.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Yeah. Just keep myself to myself. They keep themselves to themselves.
That's nice.
Yeah, one of my roommates, Ryzak, the other day was like, "Yeah, man, you can just take my food, all my food. If you ever see any food there, take it. It's yours."
That's crazy. Yeah. What a nice dude.
Yeah, no,
Shout out to
super
Ryzak.
friendly. Yeah, and I was like, "Man, you can take my food if you want, but it's all like spaghetti and like it involve cooking.
It's all easy."
Yeah.
Boom.
That's 2 blue sparks.
Oh my god, that's 2 down already. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I can already feel myself starting to like quiver with way too much energy.
I watched some stuff this week too.
Oh yeah, what'd you watch?
The new
Something
season.
Shit, I bet.
Yes. Actually, yes. I watched a reality TV show called Wreck Trek.
Oh, Jesus.
It was on Netflix. I just wanted something like a shitty reality TV show, and it's about these guys who buy shitty cars in Berlin and then drive to Cape Town in South Africa.
Okay, that sounds kind of interesting.
It's like The Long Way Down, right? So imagine The Long Way Down. You know what Ewan McGregor and
I don't know that. No.
they ride motorcycles down through. It's great. But imagine that. But if Ewan McGregor was a massive cunt. Because the guy who leads this group, the guy who leads this group is actually just an asshole. And most of the people that are a part of this group, no, but not like funny like Top Gear.
No, because Jeremy Clarkson, look, Top Gear is funny, but Jeremy Clarkson's still just an asshole.
Yeah, but they make it funny in that show.
Yeah.
This
guy is just being.
This is people like sniping at each other and stuff, and like actually they leave 2 of them behind at one point. They're just like, yeah, all right, bye.
Nice.
We're done with you. And like it's I kind of like I want to find some outlet where I can talk about this thing like in a more scripted like I want to write essays about this fucking show. It's
really?
Crazy.
Okay.
It's so weird.
Do you know what I think is so weird? Is how every time that I come here, you're into this other weird thing, and then I come back another week and you never mention it again.
I watched it all in one, not all of it, but I watched like I'm just over maybe 3/4 of the way through it.
Jesus.
I watched it all in one night, just episode after episode, while I was playing games on my computer.
How much of it is there?
20 episodes.
Okay, well then.
So and they're like 20 minutes, so it's not horrible. But another thing that I watched that's a lot more fun is the new season of a series of unfortunate events.
Oh.
That
was very unenthusiastic. Sorry.
I feel like people aren't watching this or talking about it. At least it's getting great reviews.
Yeah.
And I read the books as a kid. They're one of my favorite like book series from my childhood.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's such a fucking good show. Neil Patrick Harris is hilarious in it.
Yeah. Amanda and I tried watching that, man. Couldn't get into it. What? It was like, what the fuck is this? What world is this? What world are you trying to convey?
Crazy. That's the point.
I know, but I don't buy it, man, because it's like the world is crazy or whatever, but the green screen's also just shit. And the
that's
the acting,
the first episode.
The acting is pretty. No, we watched a couple episodes, and the acting is weird and annoying. And when he keeps turning to the camera and being like, "This is what that word means," I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! I study English."
He's the writer.
I know. I understand the context, Brian.
That's the point.
That he introduces himself at the start. I understand that he's let me sneak it.
But oh my god.
But nothing. I just think it's weird. And I think Neil Patrick Harris is good in that show, but he's good in that show of playing one of the many character arcs. What's the word I'm looking for? Character types, I suppose. Archetypes. That's the one. A combination of the two.
What do you mean?
Well, like Neil Patrick Harris has a couple characters. You know, he's got Barney Stinson, who's real cool, and then he's got the guy who plays in the Smurfs, where he's like, you know, I'm grumpy, but you can tell that like there's something.
Straight.
I'm straight. I'm grumpy, but you can tell there's something cool and also sweet about me. And then he's got Dr. Horrible, and he's doing Dr. Horrible pretty much for this, like a much more like blown out version of it.
Count Olaf was written before Dr. Horrible.
I know that, but that doesn't mean that he isn't acting them the same way.
No, he's so much more menacing in Series of Unfortunate Events.
In Series of Unfortunate Events, he's acting essentially the way that Barney Stinson acts in How I Met Your Mother when he's got some kind of maniacal plot.
No.
And he starts going all, oh, he does it. But look, I've just seen Neil Patrick Harris do what he's doing in that show 1,000,001 times, and that's fine. I quite like Neil Patrick Harris. Don't get me wrong, I do. I like his magic. I like his singing. I like his dancing. I like his joking around. He joshes. I like that. He's a funny guy, but I couldn't get into that show.
I'm not having any.
Yeah, evidently, look, there's ain't jack shit you can do about it, Brian. I'm already on a tangent. I'm 2.5.
Oh my
Blue
God.
Sparks in. There's no stopping me now. Fuck that show.
This is going to be a Dara podcast. I've just realized this with these Blue Sparks.
Well, for the first little while anyway, at least you're going to have... You get to talk while I finish my Blue Sparks.
Yes. Anyway, Series of Unfortunate Events is a fantastic show.
Yeah, right. I've heard that.
Yeah.
Fuck that show. Sorry, but for me personally...
Fuck that show.
For me personally, really? I think I couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into it.
No.
I understand why weirdos like you would love it.
It's such a faithful adaptation of the books. It's so faithful. The tone, everything is really good.
Well, credit to you for that. Evidently, I wouldn't have liked the books that much.
I really like the main theme. Sung by Neil Patrick Harris. The main theme is very good. The opening song.
I know that theme because I've heard it and I remember not liking it.
That's fair. Anyway, I think it's a good show. I watched the first 2 episodes of Altered Carbon.
Don't know what that is.
It's a new Netflix series, like big budget Netflix thing. It's about the future where you have your consciousness on a little disc that's in your spine.
Okay.
And you can take it out and put it in other bodies called sleeves.
Well, that sounds interesting.
It's like a cyberpunk detective story. And it's really good. The first 2 episodes, I'm not going to say anything else about it really because there's nothing much to say. I haven't gotten that far in, but so far it's
so far so good.
Very, very good, yeah.
Nice. I haven't really been watching anything. I've been busy. I've been watching those BuzzFeed Unsolved things, so I was telling you about that.
BuzzFeed Unsolved is so good.
And I love stupid mystery shit like that, and those guys are so funny.
There's always this thing with like BuzzFeed Unsolved where you have to justify it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, no, yeah, it's BuzzFeed, but no,
honestly,
it's
good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's a BuzzFeed Blue series, and it's these 2 guys talking about unsolved mysteries, and I think they alternate seasons between
true crime stories and like horror stuff.
Yeah, supernatural.
Yeah. I love the true crime stuff because even ones that I already know quite a good bit about, like DB Cooper, I already knew a lot about. They have one on him. And I watched that one being like, do I even need to watch this? I kind of feel like I know the story. It is such a funny video, them describing that thing.
They have really good chemistry.
Yeah, they really do. They're fucking gas. There's one bit in it that sticks out in my mind where they're like talking about possible suspects of who DB Cooper could have been, and he's like, oh, you know, some people think that he might have been just a college student on spring break, and Shane starts laughing. He's like, imagine him just jumping out of the plane going, spring break.
There was a theory that DB Cooper is actually Tommy Wiseau.
Really?
Director of The Room, yeah.
You know what? That would...
Because if you look at his sketch and look at that... And he had a weird accent, and where did Tommy Wiseau get all that money for his movie?
Jeans, man.
Jeans.
From Jeans.
I think he knew like an old lady who was fond of him, and she left him some money or something like that.
And
That's what I remember from the book. And the jeans, too, yeah. That's how he got his SAG card.
His SAG card?
The Screen Actors Guild. You know how you need a SAG card to like act and shit because it's like a weird system that sucks.
It's a very weird thing.
Yeah, he did a advertisement for his jeans thing, and for whatever reason, he managed to make it so that it was a SAG production.
That's
and
insane.
that let him get his SAG card.
Quite ingenious. I'm going to be burping a lot, and I'm very sorry.
Leave your angry comments about Dara burping.
I don't give a fuck.
Leave any comments.
Yeah, leave a comment,
comments.
Yeah, what happened? People used to comment.
People used to comment, and now they don't.
Now they just sit. Now the only 2 people who are so inclined to comment send emails.
It's probably because we sold out. This episode is brought to you by Blue Spark.
We sell out every week by a different energy drink company. Man, my stomach is bloating to fuck with all this energy drink. I can feel
all that energy drink, ice cream, and the ice cream man came.
Yeah, it was dope, man. I got a 99.
Dara got a 99. I got a slushy, a blueberry and cola slushy. Yeah. And life hack, right? If you get a slushy from the ice cream man, and you're thinking, this slushy could be a little bit more alcoholic, just pour some spiced rum in there, and it's great.
Oh, I wouldn't call that a life hack.
That is a life hack. You should be doing that every day. Yeah.
I feel like a life hack is more like oh, this thing that it's just like it's like what I'm doing right now with the straw, where you turn the fucking the thing that you open the can with around and you poke the straw through. That's a life hack because it holds the straw in place, and it's like,
That's
oh,
a
this
life
will just
hack,
make
yeah.
your life slightly easier. Yours is more like, this is how you get drunk, and this is
Which
how
makes my life slightly
around
easier.
children without them noticing.
Yeah, if anyone tuned into this podcast and didn't know us, it would be like, oh, so one of them's like a really opinionated asshole and the other's an alcoholic.
Yeah. That wouldn't be too far off either.
Yeah, no. Wait, no, I'm not an alcoholic.
Hey man, I called myself an opinionated asshole. You can handle alcoholic.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Oh, okay, we're 3.5 in now. Fuck me.
We're also 20 minutes in.
That's not so bad.
That is not so bad. Shall we talk about the movie?
Actually, no. First, before we do that, you touched on the ice cream man. I bought 99. It was delicious, but it cost €2.
Yeah.
Does anyone? I'm not insane, right? They did used to cost 99 cents. That was the idea.
Yeah.
And I remember getting one when I was like.
Are you sure they weren't 99p at one point?
I don't know. Probably
when we were
when we were real young. Because I do remember the transition from pound to euro. Do you?
I remember in a supermarket they had like a saving thing. There was a sale on, and it was a pound sign being cut in half by a scissors. That's what I remember from the pound era.
I remember my granda sitting there being like, "This is a good calculator. This will help me figure out all the pound to euro shite."
If anyone doesn't know or is listening to this from somewhere not Ireland, we changed to pound in like 2000 when the European Union became a thing and euros happened.
Yeah, and we were like,
and it's been great. We can just go to any other country in Europe and use our money.
Yeah,
which is not a thing you can do in Japan.
No. Yeah. What? So you have to get, what is it?
Yen. Yeah. Which is easy enough. I can bring my Visa card over and just get money out from my bank account, and it'll automatically become yen.
That's pretty dope.
And then I found out an easy way to convert it.
Yeah.
Cut two zeros off.
Okay.
So 1,000 yen is about €10.
Yeah, that's right, because yen is worth absolute dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if that will make us be more likely to buy things or less likely.
Yeah.
Like, will we look at it and be like, that's tons, or will we look at it and be like, that's probably not that much in our money?
Yeah. It will be a bit confusing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Ooh.
It's a cheap enough country as well, from what I've seen.
Well, isn't that where all the knockoff shit's made?
That's China.
China, yeah. But that part of the world, that region.
Japan are a little bit removed from
really?
The mainland.
Because a lot of shit
says
says made in Japan.
Yeah, but they originated it.
Oh, okay.
They had their economic boom in the 80s and no, after World War II.
Yeah, that's hence that joke in Back to the Future.
I'm looking at you quizzically. I haven't. I watched Back to the Future the other day.
Oh, really? It's
I watched the first two. They're great.
Oh no, yeah, this is actually a joke in the third one.
Oh,
but Doc Brown from 1955 is trying to fix the time machine, and he pulls out the chip that's after frying, and he's like, "Huh." And he goes to Marty. He's like, "Oh, no wonder this thing broke. It says made in Japan." And Marty's like, "What are you talking about? All this best shit's made in Japan."
That's in the first one, I think.
Maybe it is.
I think I remember that.
Maybe. Who knows?
I'm watching it the other day.
Yeah, maybe.
Those movies are great.
They are fantastic. Yeah, I think
you have to watch all of them in one sitting, which bugs me.
You don't really.
I usually do.
Yeah.
But I got to the third one and it's like, I don't really care about cowboys right now. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, that's fair. I really like the third one. It's a damn shame about that fucking love side plot, Clara. I don't care about you, Clara.
Yeah, that always struck me as kind of
tacked on.
Yeah. And it always felt like a studio interference kind of thing where they're like, you need to blah, 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 you need to do this, which a lot of movies have nowadays.
Oh, Jesus.
I love all that studio interference in movies. It makes it really fun.
That's my fucking fifth Blue Spark opening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm struggling.
Now it's time to start making bets as to whether he makes it to the end of the podcast. Do you think there's going to be a crash?
Definitely not during. I will crash hard after.
But you weren't that tired beforehand.
I wasn't. No, You
might just stay up forever now.
I might just throw up. Look at how bloated my stomach is.
Oh my god.
Look at that. Look, all that liquid is just sitting in there right now, man.
Yeah, you're probably gonna throw up.
Yeah, probably gonna throw up.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Finn.
Well, you did it. In fact, you've drank more than 6 because the Monster is like...
Yeah.
Was that good or bad, Monster?
It wasn't so bad.
We should
it was
review the
Ultra
Monster.
Sunrise. It was actually quite nice. It was kind of orangey. Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
This is
and it was
incredibly
0 sugar.
boring.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, well, shall we move on to the film?
Yeah. We watched a movie.
Uh-huh.
We decided to get away from Japan for a bit.
Pardon me.
Yeah, that was...
Oh,
I felt that one over here. It hit me in the face.
No, I'm going to burp like that every now and then, and I apologize because it
just
will be
cover your
gross.
mouth.
Yeah, but it will prevent me...
I said that while covering my mouth, so no one probably heard it.
It will prevent me from just throwing up mid-podcast.
So yeah, we I was kind of at a loss for the movie. I wasn't really thinking about it this week at all. And
Again, he was busy.
yeah. So I was like, oh crap, what am I gonna do? And I had one lined up that I was kind of like, and it was another Japanese movie because I had it on DVD. I just looked over at my DVD things. I was like, there, we've got it.
Yeah.
And then Ali was like, no, do this movie. It's good. And so we watched, and I am going to butcher this name. Les Triplettes De Belleville.
Yeah, les triplets.
I never did
de
French in
Belleville.
secondary school.
I
so.
did, and I sucked at it. Yeah, but
So this is a short animated movie. Not a short.
wonderfully short.
It's,
it's
8
like,
minutes.
Yeah, 80 minutes.
Which is good for us
Yeah.
because we watch the movie and then record after 6 o'clock when Dara has his thing. And
Yes.
when Dara comes home from work.
Yeah, home.
Home.
Honey, I'm home.
When Dara comes in the door and he takes off his coat and hangs it up.
Yeah, hang up.
Hangs up his hat.
Kate, what have you
he walks
making?
into the kitchen and I'm there with an apron on. I hope you're ready for the podcast.
Slap you in the ass.
Oh. Oh, don't tell him that.
That's the blue spark talking.
Is that a
I'm
demonetization?
wired. I'm wired, man. I'm pretty wired.
So it's a 2003 movie, and it was written and directed by Sylvain Chome. I think that's how you say his name. I'm so sorry.
Don't fucking apologize. He's not listening to this.
Yeah.
We watched his goddamn movie. Where's his loyalty?
He's done other animated stuff. He did a Simpsons couch gag.
Yeah, you said that during.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dog and cat from The Simpsons are in it, and they are pretty much the dog from that movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
The dog from this movie is all fat and
he's got skinny legs, and he's like plodding around.
having a real hard time just moving anywhere.
It had a budget of 9.5 million, which is more than, but makes sense.
Ah, yeah, well, sure. A lot of fucking manpower to draw all that shit.
It was high production, and it came out at the box office with $14.8 million.
That's pretty good.
That's
for
a profit.
Profit for like a French animated film.
Yeah. So it's a movie about. I have already forgotten. No, it's about an old lady who is really into the triplets from Belleville.
Yes, yeah. Or the Belleville triplets, I guess.
Les Triplettes De Belleville.
Yeah.
And her grandson, who is training for the Tour de France, and he gets kidnapped by the French mafia, and she has to use her dog and her wits and the friends she makes along the way to go and save him.
Yes.
That's the synopsis of the movie.
And for what it's worth, the Triplets De Belleville are they're triplets, obviously, but they're like kind of almost like show tune singers.
Yeah, in the 1920s.
Yeah, and at the start of the film, the old lady is watching the Triplets De Belleville on TV with her little grandson, who's like real young at the time, and then
fat.
He's real fat, and then it skips way into the future, and somehow she hasn't aged at all, but he's super tall and skinny and weird looking.
He's got really big legs.
The most gigantic legs.
Because he's cycling in the Tour de France.
Yeah. And she's been training him for the Tour de France like this whole time. And he's got freakishly big legs, like grotesquely large legs, and then the rest of him is like super lanky and unhealthy looking.
Yeah. And it's very well animated. Well, we'll get to that. So do you want to go first with your thing?
You can go first. I gotta work through this.
So I wanted to talk a bit about the character design, the animation. I'm gonna just push those together because it makes sense. The animation is really like floppy, if that makes sense. Like it's very
Yeah.
There's a lot of movement in everything, and
it's kind of like there's very little edge to people. It's like they don't have that many bones, you know?
Yeah. But then some of them have tons of bones.
Yeah,
and
some of them are like super sturdy and like a really solid shape, and then others are like real wibbly wobbly.
Yeah, like the younger kid has a really long nose and big bug eyes, and it's really like he looks tired all the time from cycling, and it comes across really well.
Yeah.
There's very little dialogue in this movie, which we didn't know when we were going into it.
Yeah.
Turns out even if there was subtitles, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah. Really. Yeah.
Because you can watch this movie and get the story, and it's good. I'm going to start by saying I really like this movie. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, man. I quite enjoyed it too, which was a bit surprising. I don't know, just because I'd never heard of it, and it's weird going into a film being like, yeah, I have literally no frame of reference for this whatsoever.
Yeah.
But
and
it was
you
crazy.
usually have a low tolerance for bullshit. So
I do, yeah. But this film, I don't know, it established itself well at being like, this is the world we're in right now. This is the way things are going to be going. And then I don't know, there was a consistency to the kind of madness of it where you were just like, oh yeah, this
you know
all
what
makes
else does
sense.
that? A series of unfortunate events.
A
You
series
pleb.
of unfortunate events. Oh, it also looks me in the fucking eye and defines words I know the definition of.
Yeah. That's because that's what one of the characters does. Anyway, we're getting off track.
Yeah.
We're getting off track.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
We'll talk about this after the podcast. And then I'll have Ali on my side too, and she loves it too, so she's going to kick your ass.
Look at this shit, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's horrible. You should shave.
That was my stomach I was showing him, by the way.
Oh, yes. That's what you'd like them to think. So, yeah, it's very charismatic. It's, like, characters move. That's it. He's down. He's done it.
Thank God. Ugh.
That's the fifth energy drink.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, it's really charismatic and, like, I don't know, characters all have really good silhouettes, I think.
Yeah.
You can instantly tell who's what.
Yeah.
That makes. I'm not very good at talking about. I shouldn't have picked animation.
No, I think what you're trying to get at is like the characters all have a really specific shape to them.
Yeah.
And that shape is kind of indicative of their nature in a way.
Yeah, the old woman is very kind of compact.
Yeah, but she's also
rounded.
sturdy.
She's sturdy.
As opposed to like the ones that are kind of flip-flopping around the place.
She can look out for herself.
Yeah.
It kind of gets that across, but also she's a lot of rounded shapes and stuff, so there's a softness like.
Yeah.
Really, really well designed. Everything, like the art in it is fantastic, and the backgrounds. Really love the backgrounds. There's so much detail in them.
And there seems to be a really seamless blend of like CGI kind of animation and like hand-drawn stuff.
Yeah, there is some CGI in there.
Yeah, but it rolls so smoothly that it doesn't like jump out at you. Like remember when we watched Ghost in the Shell, the animated one?
And yeah, there was one bit in that where it's CGI.
Well, there was a couple, and it would just flicker back
you're
to
right,
it.
Yeah.
It was like the one weird CGI scene. And they just kept cutting back to it. And I was like, what the fuck is this? But in this, it flowed really, really smoothly.
He's got the hiccups. Yeah. Oh, that's so great for a podcast.
This is the second time I've had hiccups on this podcast, too.
That is excellent.
But I think I've already gotten rid of them. But that kind of, I think that the talking about the characters kind of flows kind of well into one of my points, which was the world that was, like, built, or that they built. Because... like from the get-go, the very opening scene is like what they're watching on TV with the triplets and they're singing and whatever, and then there's loads of people on stage performing or dancing or whatever while
with
the triplets
multiple
are singing.
Celebrity guests.
Yeah, all these different celebrity cameos
from the
that
1920s.
We didn't,
Django Reinhardt, guitar player, was there. If anyone knows who that is,
I don't.
Look him up. He's really good at playing guitar.
Oh yeah.
He only had 2 fingers.
Oh shit, that's pretty cool.
Well, he had like 2 little ones because they got burnt in a fire or something.
Oh fuck, that's nuts.
But yeah, he was like a classical. You should look up Django Reinhardt if you play guitar.
I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I should do. I'll do that.
He's amazing.
But yeah, and then, but like, even from that opening scene, I don't know. You can tell that there's a kind of weird bounciness, a weird kind of flow to this world where it's so clearly not like the real world. There's something very different about it.
Yeah.
There's something kind of hyper real about it, where it's like.
But it changes the animation. That's very like early, like Steamboat Willie kind of. What's it called? There's like a name for it. I can't think of it right now. Cuphead, that game that came out had that animation style.
I'm shrugging. I don't know. What
I'll show it to you after this.
Okay.
I have it on my computer.
Okay,
so,
cool.
But yeah, like old Steamboat Willie or Felix the Cat kind of stuff.
I know Felix the Cat. Yeah, it is kind
Felix
of like
the
that.
Cat was the first animated character to ever think about something.
Oh yeah, that's
right. Up until that
point,
characters just did.
Yeah,
but Felix the Cat planned and thought about things.
Interesting. Very interesting.
That's a little thing I know about animation.
Ah, there you go. But yeah, so like then it shows you like a brief scene of the old lady with her grandson when he's a kid.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to like way in the future where he's like suddenly she's still like a teeny little 2-foot woman and he's got to be like 8 feet tall comparatively.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like super skinny, like we said, and he's got these massive legs. And
like
then
his thigh muscles.
Yeah,
and
his
calf
thigh
muscles
muscles and his
huge.
calves are just gigantic.
It's really off-putting at first.
Yeah, it is. And then when he like it cuts to a scene where she's like he's cycling and she's on like a little tricycle behind
with
him.
her umbrella
and she's
hooked
like,
on.
yeah, she's got her umbrella hooked onto the back of his bike, and she's just like blowing this whistle as he pedals along, carrying the two of them. And then when he like arrives home, and he like goes in, and he just lies straight on the table. And she takes out like an egg whisk, things for like whisking eggs.
Yeah.
And starts like running it against his like gigantic calves and stuff to like stretch out the muscles or
and
whatever.
It's like the animation is done in a way that looks very doughy. Like
yeah, super doughy, and it's weird because it's like it looks like it's taking care of the problem.
Yeah,
it looks like it's like really stretching
like,
out those muscles.
Yeah.
It is very cartoonish in that way, in that it's like, but again it sells it well. You know, because the animation carries it. It makes all that kind of weird bullshit seem plausible and realistic. Even the fact that she's like 2 feet tall and he's like a tower.
You had something to say about the old lady. Actually.
Yeah. Just the old lady in general. I just really liked her as a character type in general because she's that kind of unstoppable cartoon character that is unstoppable. And it's almost unchallenged. Like she's just pottering along. But like Popeye would always have the moment where he'd like swallow the spinach and he'd get beef up and he'd save the day in the end. Whereas this lady is just continuing on constantly, and it's just through continuing, just not stopping what she's trying to do, she always ends up doing what she intended.
Yeah. So but it's in a very kind of not very real way, but it feels more grounded than that. If that makes sense.
because it flows so well.
Yeah.
So like one example of this that I really enjoyed is like when she when her grandson is kidnapped, and they're like bringing him on a boat from France to America, and she gets a little pedal boat. And like follows this massive ship across the ocean, and there's this scene where like it shows you like a terrible like awful thunderstorm, and she's like using the umbrella, just holding the umbrella to like keep herself grounded on the massive waves, and the waves are carrying her even further and closer to the ship. So this incredibly dangerous scenario is working out in her favor, and then it cuts to a scene where it's like totally still waters. And she's like, again, just pottering along, her and the dog in this little pedal boat. And then a whale emerges from the water and like flips its tail. But they are like lifted onto the whale's tail and lifted up into the air and then like gently put back down into the ocean, just way closer to the boat than they would have been. So it's like bit by bit, even though they're trailing behind the boat and they're never going to be as fast as it, like nature is just helping them catch up. And it all worked so fluidly that it was like, oh yeah, this makes sense in the context of the world that you've built. And that's what I kind of liked about this little old lady, is that she just keeps pottering along.
And she's going back to the animation, like she's just a very likable character. Like
Yeah.
she's very charismatic, and they do this great thing where she'll adjust her glasses, but they ever so slightly change the size of her irises in the glasses, and I thought that was like a nice touch.
Yeah, it
It's
made
full
her
of
kind
little
of real.
details. It made her real.
Yeah, and like she had like, even though she was like a cartoon character with like kind of unrealistic proportions, she still had like a realistic, like the way her face moved or something, where she would like pull like with her left cheek, and like her lips and everything would follow with it.
Yeah.
You know, and it just added a little bit of like extra life into this character that is so clearly not a real person. Like doesn't look like a real person
She's
at all.
like 2 feet tall.
Yeah, but she's behaving like a real person, you know? Just
Yeah.
like the little details like that kind of make it more believable. Yeah.
Wait, I only have 2 things?
Quite possibly.
Okay, well, I guess I'll talk about the shit talking.
Yeah, oh yeah, go
This is
for
an
it.
anti-Disney movie.
Yes,
This
it is.
movie is very upfront with its, yo, fuck Disney, that shit sucks. Also America, too.
Yeah, man, fucking hates America. This
They
bloke.
go to America in the movie.
Yeah.
Or Belleville,
No, I think it's America.
Yeah.
Because they arrive
it's called
in the
Belleville, but
yeah, but
it's,
the Statue of Liberty is
which
there.
is a huge fat woman
And
with
it's
a hamburger.
massive fat lady with a hamburger.
And all the people on the street are massive fat people.
Oh yeah, they're fucking huge. Yeah.
And they're all really dumb, fat, just awful characters. And but yeah, it's definitely very anti-Disney. There's a photograph that someone looks at in it, and it's someone at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And he has a badge that says "sucker." on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
There's a scene. This is the big one.
This is the big one.
This is where you're like, well, that could mean anything. Like maybe they don't. It's not really anti-Disney. Just you fucking wait. So they go to a.
It's the triplets. She runs into the triplets. When she gets to America and she can't find her grandson at first, she runs into the triplets De Belleville,
who put her up for the night
Yeah.
in their apartment that is in an apartment block full of prostitutes.
Yeah.
And they're walking past the room and the door is open, and in the room is a toilet.
Yeah.
And in that toilet is a shit.
Yeah.
And
like a
that
floating
shit is the shape of Mickey Mouse's head.
Yeah. Just
and it's not
three
even like
perfect.
it's not even like, oh, maybe this is like Mickey. No, it's like
It's very clearly
so
just
clearly
the
Mickey
Mickey Mouse symbol.
so definitely Sylvain Chomet doesn't. There's not a lot of love lost for Disney, and
Yeah.
you know, to be fair, I can understand him.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if you're
An animator.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But you see, it's interesting because this style of animation. Because remember, you mentioned Felix the cat. I remember at the start with that initial scene where the triplets, the Belleville, are singing and all that shit's going on the stage. There was some weirdly sexual stuff.
Yeah.
Which was very Felix the cat, and then it just stopped with that. Really, after that scene, it just became quite a relatively wholesome, still pretty fucking weird looking, but relatively whole thing.
I don't know.
But
There
was
was
just
a lot of
splash of that
there was a lot of dog dick in there.
There was a lot of dog dick. Yeah. That their dog is like, so the whole story is the old lady trying to get her grandson back, but the dog is like going along on this journey with her. And her dog,
is great too.
He is fantastic.
Yeah,
He's
we didn't talk about the dog at all.
Yeah, his name is Bruno.
Dara loves him.
I do love. He's a lovely big fella. But what I thought was really cool about him is there's like this recurring thing where when in their house in France, there's a train that goes by the window upstairs, and every day at the same time, Bruno runs upstairs to bark at the train as it goes by.
No, every hour on the hour.
Every hour, yeah. And then when they get to America and they finally get the son back, or the grandson back, and they're escaping the mafia who are chasing them in
spoilers.
Spoilers. Yeah, full on spoilers.
This movie's from 2003.
Yeah.
That's many years ago now.
Yeah, many
Holy
years ago,
shit.
and probably none of you have ever heard of it because we hadn't.
I had.
Yeah, maybe I
never seen
bet
it.
like Oshin has, maybe Barry.
Yeah, I'm sure Oshin has.
yeah,
He's
surely.
studying animation, isn't he?
Yeah, he is indeed. Yeah.
If he hasn't, then he's.
What the fuck, Oshin?
Yeah.
Get your head out of your arse.
Jesus Christ, Oshin.
But they're like escaping the mafia, and they do so by like there's a very long, slow-paced chase sequence that's really entertaining.
Really well done.
Despite the fact that it's like slow-paced.
Those are the least competent mafia drivers I have ever
so
seen.
awful. And it's that we can talk about that whole thing separately. I think it's really funny.
We'll come to that.
But at the end of it, they get divided by a train. They like barely make it over the train tracks before the train starts going. And the mafia are left on the other side, and the dog just starts barking like mad as they slowly escape. And I just thought it was really a cool callback.
Yeah, like
like a motif that the dog barks.
Yeah, the dog barks at the trains. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm sure it means something.
Yeah, because occasionally there was like
dream sequences,
several
doggy
dream
sequences.
Yeah,
and I feel really bad that I didn't like get anything from it.
Yeah, interpret it in any way.
I just wasn't able to. I'm too dumb.
I didn't give a fuck, to be honest.
We went and got slushies, and I put rum in a slushie. Do I seem like the type of person who's gonna watch Les Triplettes De Belleville and be like, yes, that really meant something to me?
Well, no, I was enjoying the simplicity of the story. I didn't really want to.
I think you can enjoy
deep.
it just as a fun movie.
Yeah, and like the story itself is really, really small and self-contained, but it's more about the animation and the way that they tell the story.
I think
rather than the story itself.
It's kind of a movie that puts a feeling in you. If you know what I mean, like it's kind of like a warmth.
Yeah,
I think I'll go back and watch this again. You know, this might be a movie that like I stick on when I'm just kind of like ugh, and you just want to feel better.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like a.
I don't know if it would make me feel better.
Hot soup movie.
It's a bit weird looking. I
like that.
It's a bit unnerving.
I like the weird look to it.
Yeah, it is cool. I did really enjoy the film. Don't get me wrong, I did. And I guess I'd watch it again because it is short. But
it's 80 minutes.
Yeah. But I don't know if I'd watch it again like on my own or something.
Would you watch it with subtitles?
I don't see the fucking point. No. I suppose why the fuck not? Because I can now.
Nah, I don't think I will.
Really?
I think I'm going to keep it French forever.
Yeah,
I never want to know what anyone was saying.
Nice.
It worked without it. I don't see a need for.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about the chase sequence in like a bit more detail? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should talk about the mafia guys. Actually,
yeah, in general, because they were weird.
They were menacing.
Yeah.
Really effectively.
Really creepy.
Yeah.
Super creepy. They were like rectangular shaped men.
Because they had their shoulders hunched and their hands in their pockets.
Yeah, and they all looked the exact same, barred the head honchos.
Yeah, who were two little guys who also were. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had no outlines. They were just black.
Yeah.
Black rectangles. And they blend they merge together when they stand near each other.
Yeah. You couldn't tell like where one of them ended and the other began.
And then there's one bit where they literally do merge into each other.
Yeah, they just merge.
Really weird.
It's super weird, and then that never happens again, and it's bizarre.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were they were menacing. They were like an intimidating presence
until they got in the cars.
Yeah, and then as soon as they got in the cars, it's like watching. Have you ever watched someone play Hungry Hungry Hippos? And they're just the button to make the hippo go out is just kind of jammed or something, and so they press the button, and then the hippo like a second and a half late goes to reach this ball that's like out of its fucking reach by this stage. It was like watching that happen, watching them drive these cars, because they're like tipping along, and the cars are like really long at the front, really long and thin, and then at the back there's like two mob persons per car, and then the little leader guy in the middle. Like at one point, one of the cars, what happens to some of them? Like
they're going up a hill
shit.
And it just tips over.
Yeah, that was my favorite one.
And it just rolls all the way down the hill.
Yeah, and then it just keeps like flipping backwards.
One of them just can't turn because it's too long. And gets hit by another car.
Yeah.
A spanner hits the windshield of another, and he when you like kind of trip a little bit, but you just can't get your balance back, and you end up like falling, but very slowly. Yeah, like you stumble for ages and then you fall over.
Yeah,
a lot of them were like that.
Yeah, and once they fell over, that was it. They were done. Yeah. That was it. They just gave up. They were like, well, we're out of this race.
But it's weird. There's stakes. Like
Yeah,
It's
there
a
was
really
definitely
slow
stakes.
chase scene.
Yeah, but it's really entertaining.
Yeah, it's really entertaining.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like if you did that
Yeah.
in a movie, in any other movie, I feel like it would feel slow.
Yeah, but in this you were like, oh shit,
Yeah.
oh, you know,
Yeah,
you're
it
on
really
edge.
worked really well in
Yeah,
this.
yeah. One thing I'll just mention in passing, I don't want to really describe any of them in case people do want to watch this film, but just in general,
I would
generally
say, even
speaking,
if the little bit that we spoiled here, it's not going to ruin
no,
your
it's
enjoyment
really,
of the movie.
Yeah, no, it's not at all. But like visually speaking, there are a lot of really solid visual gags in this that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
It is a film that you can just watch and enjoy. You don't need to take everything in because like there's enough just like visual stuff going on that you fully understand what's going on and you're in on the joke.
Especially when they get to America and there's like the Boy Scout and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the Boy Scout. That's
or the
fucking,
Mouse
that's
Man.
a funny ass. Yeah.
Yeah. We won't talk.
No,
we'll leave that for.
Yeah.
There's plenty
sizzle.
that we
That's
have
a bit
not
sizzle.
discussed.
Yeah. But I would definitely say that this one's worth checking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're at 50 minutes.
50 minutes.
It was a short movie.
It was a short movie.
So our thoughts are short and very positive.
Yeah.
Would you recommend this movie, Dara?
I would definitely recommend this one. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one, man.
Absolutely I would recommend watching this without subtitles.
Yeah, because why the fuck? In a
first for our podcast, I think this movie is worth watching without subtitles.
Yeah, I would say so too. Yeah,
it is a visual experience.
It really is. Yeah, and you won't be lost. You definitely won't be lost.
Oh, and a little appendix at the end. Great soundtrack.
Yes, it did have a really good soundtrack.
There's bits with not live music, but there's a gig that the triplets played towards the latter half of the movie.
Yeah,
that's very well done, and sounds cool. That's
that.
That's that then.
Nice.
Go watch Les Triplets De Belleville.
Yeah, thank you for the suggestion, Ali. It was a dope one.
Yeah, it was.
I really enjoyed this one. Yeah. Can we pause before we do emails? Because I desperately need to pee.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah.
You just drank five
Blue Sparks.
All right, we'll be back right now. And we're back immediately with emails.
Nice.
It's different every time.
Every time.
It's a little bit worse.
It's a different note you go for the vocal melody.
Oh yeah.
I
don't know how to do an E. I don't know how to do a monet. So our first email is, I gotta angle myself better here.
I'm sorry, but all these cans of Blue Spark littering the table.
All right, so this is from Barry, our usual, and it's
a word from Barry.
A word from Barry. Super minimalist email this week because exams are killing my brain. That sucks. Good luck, dude. I hope you do well.
Yeah, same.
I'm sure you will. You're a pretty smart guy.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah, very smart actually.
Yeah,
not even pretty smart. Yeah. But I'm still here, still tuning in, still a third thing. God, this is hard. I don't think I've ever met Oshin, but my memory is atrocious, so who can really say? He certainly sounds like a cool dude, though, and I wish him the absolute best in pursuing animation. This is getting nice.
This is getting lovely.
Simple and short question, but make much talk. Dara, who's your least favorite Joker and why?
Ooh, shit.
I said earlier that was a good question.
It is a good question.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a very good question. Okay. I don't know, man. See, I feel like the obvious answer for a shit Joker, but then it's not really as well. I feel like most people would be like, oh, well, Cesar Romero. But I feel like Cesar Romero's great because he is what that show needed. Cesar Romero is the Joker from the 1960s show.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You know, and that's that ridiculous type
he's
of
good.
joke.
No,
yeah,
he's classic.
Yeah, exactly. I love the whole
can't...
I'm not gonna shave my mustache thing.
I recently watched that 1960s movie.
Oh, with the fucking some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie is great.
It's fantastic.
It's so fun.
It's such good crack, man. I love it.
That's a good one to watch with people.
Oh, absolutely.
Just,
yeah. No, that one's hilarious. Yeah, but
see, my obvious answer would have been Jared Leto.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking.
But I feel like that's kind of cheating.
It is because it is a very it's an easy dig to take, I would say. But I don't know. I think the thing about Jared Leto is he was simultaneously trying too hard to be different and also trying too hard to be Heath Ledger. You know?
Yeah.
I think
I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen bits of him.
He's not very good, and I've got a lot of problems with him as the Joker. like for example, one big problem I have with him as the Joker is the fact that he's got a fucking smile tattooed on his hand. And it's this thing where he like holds his hand in front of his mouth and like makes the laugh sound, and I'm like, how about you just smile like the Joker does?
And I like the grills. I think that's a cool idea for a Joker if it was done better. The tattoos, though, so my problem with the tattoos is there had to have been a point where he went into a tattoo parlor and was like, "Can you please get like die Batman die? Can you just put that on my calf, please?"
You know what? No. No, what really does it for me is the damage on the forehead.
That's
right? Because the thing about the Joker as well, right, is that the Joker thinks that there's nothing wrong with him. He thinks there's something wrong with everyone else. He does not think of himself as damaged at all. He thinks he's the only one who's thinking clearly.
Yeah.
You know? So for him to be like, I know, I feel like it's a real melodramatic emo move. Teen, like desperate for attention. Oh, I'm damaged. I'm so misunderstood.
He looks like he was designed by a stroppy teenager.
Doesn't he?
Yeah.
And like he looks like he's like meant to fit like that dark, gritty, realistic tone of those shit films. But all he does is he is a shit Joker to fit those shit films. And like I don't know, I feel like there's some good ideas there. You know, Jared Leto kind of brought some good ideas. I feel like
he's a good actor.
He is a good actor.
Have you ever seen
Absolutely.
Dallas Buyers Club?
I have not, but I've heard great things.
Oh, that's an excellent movie. He's a really good actor.
Yeah, but in this, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like, he brings a fluidity to it, all right, that I quite admire. In that he's always kind of rocking. He's constantly kind of rocking and moving to some kind of rhythm that only he seems to hear, and he's very theatrical with like his hand gestures and stuff. Which I think is cool. That's kind of Joker-esque.
That's quite like classic Joker kind of.
Yeah, and I don't even mind the look so much in terms of like, I think the hair is kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't mind the idea of a shirtless Joker either, because there's like cool shots of him in the comic books where you see him shirtless in like a jail cell or something, and he's just doing pull-ups.
Yeah.
To like, and he's like unhealthily skinny, but he's super lean and ripped. Yeah, junky ripped. Yeah, my rap name. You know, because he's like, because you know, even though he's the Joker, he has to keep in some shape to fight Batman all the time. So you know,
I feel like the Joker doesn't eat 3 square meals a day.
No,
I feel
absolutely.
like he probably doesn't have time.
No.
I don't think I've ever seen him eat.
No, I think I feel like that's part of it. Is you don't see him do like normal human shit.
You've never seen the Joker taking a shit.
No, well, you know, weirdly enough, you've never seen Batman take a shit either.
That's true.
Yeah, right.
I kind of want a comic that's about Batman just taking a shit.
Just Batman's constipated.
Let's ground that character.
And
Let's get him on our level.
You know? Make him more realistic. I can't relate to this billionaire playboy. I need to know that he has trouble with his bowels too. You know?
Or maybe his bowels are really... They're probably
I
quite
bet
healthy.
they're actually on fucking point. I bet like clockwork every day.
Yeah, every day. He's like out there fighting crime and he's like, 7 o'clock.
It's that time. I'm just going to knock this thug out real quick. Shit on the unconscious body. That's the way he does it. That's the way Batman rolls. They wake up and they're like, oh no.
It's like his calling card. He like shits and it's the bat symbol.
He's been years of training have led him to being able to shit.
Do you think he flushes his own toilet, or do you think Alfred does it?
I bet he doesn't even wipe his own arse.
Really?
Yeah,
you
man.
think it's that bad?
Yeah, man. Do you remember when we watched Batman and Robin and Alfred doesn't answer the door and Bruce Wayne like opens the door to Alfred's room and he's like, Alfred, what the fuck are you doing? The door, man.
Yeah,
come on.
What the hell?
Come on. Get your shit together.
And the best part about that was he didn't seem to be doing anything important at that. He was just kind of wandering around his house.
Yeah, it was just him and Dick Grayson were standing around. But he was just like, what the fuck does this guy think I'm paying him for, huh? I'm letting him live in this big mansion. He's not even going to answer the fucking door. He's a lazy prick, Bruce Wayne.
Oh.
Yeah. So the best Joker, or the worst Joker. The worst Joker. I would say Jared Leto. But then there's some weird ones. Do you know what's an awful Joker? Have you ever seen Young Justice? I bet you haven't.
I've heard of it. But...
Young Justice is pretty good. They're bringing it back for a 3rd season on Netflix at the moment.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to get seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah,
maybe I'll check
you
it
should.
out.
You definitely should, because the storyline of it is good. The animation style is quite good. Batman is really cool in the show, but what's cool about it is it's like Teen Titans, the original Teen Titans, in that it's more serious, but it's also less less kind of anime-ish. You know how like Teen Titans is clearly anime inspired, and there's like moments where they kind of turn into chibis or whatever, and the animation style gets a little crazy and funky.
Yeah.
This is more kind of as realistic as a DC universe can be.
Yeah, it's that classic DC animated style that they've used in tons of stuff.
Yeah, and it took forever for the Joker to show up in this show because, you know, he's a Batman villain, and for the most part, Young Justice deal with, like, I wouldn't say lower level villains. Well, I would say lower level villains, but they're still pretty good ones. Like, there's still pretty good villains throughout the series. But when they finally get to Joker, he's part of, like, a bigger team of supervillains. And he is so clearly just a Heath Ledger ripoff.
Oh.
And he's like, whoever is voicing him, I don't know who voices him, is clearly trying to do a Heath Ledger impression. And it's all about like the knives and stuff. He's the knife Joker, and and I'm like, man, the Heath Ledger's Joker makes sense in that universe that they specifically built in the context of those films. But Young Justice is a TV show in which the fucking, like, all these teenagers band together and create their own Justice League, which operates out of a fucking mountain.
Yeah.
Like a hidden cave inside of a mountain, and they're doing like the undercover groundwork for the Justice League and stuff. And
yeah, they call it the Justice Cave.
It's Mount Justice.
Oh,
it's
my
called.
God.
Yeah, and they're in every episode they boom tube places. Have you seen the boom tubes? Boom tubes are a thing that eventually become established in the DC universe where you can just teleport anywhere.
Oh,
Cyborg basically builds them using the mother box technology from fucking
cool.
From what's it called? What's the name of Doomsday's planet? Is it Armageddon?
Probably.
Something like that. Apocalypse. There we go.
Okay.
And so like it's really ludicrous out there storytelling for the most part, and then there's just this Joker who likes to cut you up with a knife, and I'm like, come on, if the rest of this world is so outrageous, then you can make a real comic book Joker. You know what I mean? Like, you can have him be this bizarre, over the top clown character, you know, with the fucking, like, the bang guns and like the flower that squirts poison. You can add all that bullshit into it. You know, and rather than just trying to be like, well, the Dark Knight was really successful and people like that Joker. That's a shit Joker. And as far as I can tell, as far as I remember, he's only in one episode. And I was really psyched to see him too, and it was a really big letdown for me.
I have a quick question that's related to this. Top 3 non-movie Jokers.
Non-movie Jokers. Well, obviously Hamill is number 1.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say number 2 would be the Batman, the monkey-like Joker, and I'd say number 3 probably John DiMaggio in Under the Red Hood.
Yes.
Yeah, he's very, very good.
I like
because it's a different Joker, and he takes it in a different direction, but he commits to it, and it works.
And from a purely aesthetic point of view, I really like the faceless Joker.
Oh shit! In the comics, when he takes his he's
the one who jumps off the cliff at the end, is it?
At the end of the Death of the Family saga, yes. That, which by the way is an amazing series.
Yeah.
If you're looking for like a good New 52 story, because a lot of people associate the New 52 with just being shit, and a lot of it was, but consistently with Batman, it's very rare that they write bad Batman stories. But the New 52, that was one of the better things to come from it, was the Death of the Family storyline, and that's where Joker has his face cut off, and then he's wearing it as a mask,
and the mouth is like super.
Yeah, like it's like through. It's so fucked
it's really
up.
Good.
There's a bit where he's wearing his own face upside down. It's messed up, man, but it's great, and it's terrifying visuals, even though it's a drawing.
Well, the art's really good.
Yeah, fantastic.
I think mine's pretty much the same list as yours.
Really, yeah.
I like the Joker from Batman Brave and the Bold.
He is good.
He's super classic, and I just love his design. It's so
he's got the weird.
It looks like the original comic book Joker.
Yeah, Batman Brave and the Bold was a great show, man.
Excellent
I fucking love that show.
I used to watch that every day when it would come out. I was like in secondary school.
Yeah,
and I was like, this shit's radical.
Yeah,
it's like
so
golden age.
Yeah,
shit,
and again, just goes with it. It's just like fuck it, we'll just commit to this. He is so funny.
He's
old
so
chum.
funny. I love him so much.
Fucking there's a great episode. I suppose it's a series of episodes. I think it's 2 episodes where maybe you'll have seen them. Where Batman discovers an alternate dimension in which the roles are reversed. So it's like all the bad guys are good and all the good guys are bad. It's a really classic story. It's a take on Crisis on Infinite Earths. But it's a very dumbed down version of that story. Yeah. But it's really cool because the whole thing is like is essentially it's done from like the perspective of the Red Hood in this other dimension, and the Red Hood is a hero in this world, and he sends for Batman. He builds a device that can like travel through the dimensions to call out to this other dimension, being like, we need help. And Batman shows up, and it's really cool because they never explicitly tell you that the Joker is the Red Hood, but it's very clearly and very heavily implied. And I just think I don't know. It's really interesting when that show got dark because it did a couple times, and it was handled surprisingly well.
Episode set in the future, with Damian Wayne and the Joker's kid, and that was pretty good episode. Yeah, that show was great. Yeah, savage. And the Batman was, of course.
Oh, there's a great episode called Chill of the Night. Batman Brave and the Bold, where Batman confronts the man who Joe Chill, who killed his parents, and it's an amazing.
Definitely
scene.
Not a chill guy.
No, not at all. But there's if you want to see that scene on YouTube, it's incredible. And I'm about to spoil it, so maybe if you haven't seen it, skip ahead a little bit.
Skip ahead a little bit.
It'll only be like 2 minutes max. But he's like holding Joe Chill and he's like tossing him around this fucking office, and then he's like, 20 years ago you murdered Thomas and Martha Wayne in cold blood, and he's like, oh my god, why do you even care? And Batman's like towering over him, and he's like, because I'm the son of the man you murdered, and he rips off his mask, and he's like, I am Bruce Wayne. And then this spirit of darkness comes out of him, and the spirit of like light comes out of him, and the spirit of darkness is like, it's too late, man. If you don't kill him, you gotta kill Batman at this point. And then the other one is like, no, just let him go, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Nah, it's cool, dude, don't worry.
It's just such a weirdly intense episode for such a ludicrous show. It was good crack. That's a dope ass show. You should definitely watch that.
Well, thanks, Barry. That definitely got quite a bit of discussion.
Yeah, there you go. It's a great idea. Always hit me with Batman shit if you want to stretch.
And I also like Batman shit too.
Yeah, we've both got quite a bit to say on it.
So our next email is from our friend Ushin.
Yeah, a word from Ushin now. By the way, before you get into that, can I just point out...
Who's also doing exams.
Right.
Because everyone's doing exams.
I said to you on the drive here, I was like, man, it's too warm in your house on a normal night when it's cold outside. And today, it's actually warm outside. And you were like, well, the heating won't be on. The heating's on, Brian, and it's roasting in here. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I've already checked this. I already know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. On. Your parents are incredibly wasteful with their gas. I don't know how they do it. Oh my god, did I leave my radiator on? Oh no.
No.
No. Oh no, I didn't. I think I turned it off. It's fine. No one worry for me.
Okay. So this is from Oshin, who's the subject says stressing.
He's also going.
He wrote it all in college. Like one lines, so it's kind of like a poem. Hey.
Nice.
Hey guys, number one friend of the podcast, Oshin here.
Suck it, Barry.
What's up? How are you guys? We're both good.
Yeah, we're fine.
We're okay.
We already discussed this. Come on. Oshin, keep in tune.
Nice shout out to Neon Genesis Evangelion last cast, Brian. Thank you. I used to watch it in my first year of college after my nerd friends kept hyping it up. Now I associate that year of college with frustration. Fuck Evangelion. Oh, wow. All right. I still love and cherish it, though. Yeah, it's a great series. Hey, Dara. I see you're trying to make a friendship happen between me and Barry. Ironic snap.
I like how they're
second name.
I like how they're both addressing this now.
Stop trying to make it Dara happen. Stop trying to make it happen, Dara. It's not going to happen. Fuck you, Dara. I love and cherish you, Dara, with a little heart. Yeah, it seems like the exams are getting the best
this is
of
a
them.
roller coaster of emotion, this email.
I'm very stressed from assignments, guys. Love you both. Love the podcast. Ushin out. Not even a question. How are you guys?
Oh yeah. Well, we're doing okay. I like how Barry was like, "Oh man, I don't know if I've met Oisin, but he seems like a really cool guy." And Oisin's like, "We're not gonna be friends, Dara. I'm never gonna be friends with Barry." This is the way it is.
Oisin's a popular guy. He has enough friends.
He
got
does.
A lot of friends, probably.
Yeah. Oisin has enough friends to be avoiding. You know. Yeah. He's already so busy avoiding seeing us.
And you
Yeah. He called into work the other day. It was nice. Every now and then, Oisin and Keith call into the shop on Dublin Street because it's quiet.
Yeah.
And I get to just chat with them for a little while, and it's really nice. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it was lovely, to be honest. It really, really helped the day speed up a lot. Keith came in earlier today. He was there for like an hour. It was savage.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's nice to get that one-on-one time with Keith, because otherwise you're never, ever, ever going to talk to Keith, ever.
Never.
No.
Or you're never going to hear what Keith has to say, because Keith never...
Man...
He just listens to you.
Even one-on-one with him earlier, it was like pulling fucking teeth, trying to get him to tell me about his life. He just doesn't want to talk about himself.
Yeah. Shout out to Keith.
Yeah. It's just because I'm so damn interesting.
So yeah, that's the emails done, I suppose.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much. We always appreciate it.
Yeah, and we appreciate it while you guys are both clearly stressed with other things.
You're both like sorting out your exams, and you were like, I need to send an email to this podcast.
Yeah, I need to take time out of my busy schedule to write to this stupid bullshit that Dara and Brian are doing in their free time. Yeah, so very greatly appreciate it. Yeah. We should have a meetup with those guys at some point over the summer.
Just with them?
Yeah, just with them, and be like, what's the crack, guys? How's everyone doing? It's been a while. Because I haven't seen Barry since we started doing this.
I haven't seen Barry in ages either.
Yeah. Like, I never saw Barry all that often anyway. But anytime I ever have seen Barry, I ran into Barry on a bus once, and I just sat with Barry, and it happens to me a lot where I run into people at the bus stop.
Yes.
And then I get on the bus and I'm like, now I have to awkwardly sit away from them because I just want to be alone on the bus. I've got this thing I want to listen to, or I just want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
But I like walked onto the bus and saw Barry sitting on his own, and I was like, I don't care if he wants to be alone. I'm sitting next to Barry. And then we just had a conversation about comic books like the entire way, because he's a super friendly dude. We did a play together years ago. And it was really enjoyable. It was like one of my favorite productions ever, Comedians.
Yes, that was
and he did a really good monologue in it. Because well, like every character.
You played the Joker in that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Well, I turned it into the Joker.
Yeah.
Each of the main characters, well, most of them anyway, had a monologue which was a comedy set.
Yeah.
And Barry performed that comedy set so well. Like he found the punchline, like the beats to hit and stuff really, really well.
Really good timing.
Yeah, and he plays a good Jew. I'll say that about him.
That was a great play.
I really enjoyed that. That was good crack. That was Emmett Jones, who's and Sean Andrews, who I've mentioned Sean Andrews before.
Emmett Jones runs Virtual Citizens.
Yeah, or like is the producer of Virtual
Citizens.
Is a
part of Virtual Citizens, which is another great podcast that you should check out.
Absolutely.
Barry Neenan guests on there quite a bit.
Yeah, quite frequently, yeah.
So
we should get him on here sometime. We should get so many people on here sometime.
There's so many people we got to get on here.
Yeah.
Once we have the means.
Yes.
We currently have a mixer and 2 microphones.
Yeah. Well, though it worked okay with Ali that one time.
Yeah, but... Yeah.
We could do better. We could definitely have a better setup for it, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll get to it.
We'll cross that bridge when we are more rich.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, there's so many other things I have to afford before this shit. If any of our close personal friends who are listening want to give us money.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the heat! I'm in a vest, Brian, and I'm too warm.
All right, let's get to bullshit.
Okay, before that, I have to pee again. I'm so
God.
sorry. You've had to pee twice on a podcast before, so I don't feel bad.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, I'm sorry, folks.
We'll be back in right now.
This is Finn's fault. Pop, pop, pop. Bullshit for Brian, bullshit for Brian. Hair like a lion, a curly-haired lion. Bullshit for Brian, bullshit for Brian. I'm not lying down for bullshit for Brian.
All right, that's the song. You all know how it goes.
That's the song after 5 blue sparks in a row. Brian's trying out my nifty new little vape.
You don't even press the button, dude. You
don't even gotta
you
press
just
the
suck
button.
on it.
Yeah, it just heats naturally, but it's just with the power of the suction.
It's
Quite
pretty cool,
impressive.
though.
It
It's
is
actually,
pretty
like-
cool, yeah. Quite
And it's
like
very
it.
compact and
Yeah, I like it. It's
very
nice
easy
and
to carry
discreet,
around.
nice and subtle.
discreet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can just put your hand up to your face and then take it away in a huge plume of it.
Yeah, and
It's
people.
just super discreet, dude. No one's even going to notice.
I think it'd be good for nights out and stuff because I don't want to have like a big bulky battery or whatever.
Yeah. Especially if you're carrying it around at you.
Yeah,
in a pocket or
exactly. Yeah,
something.
it's really nice and small and nifty. I appreciate the compactability of this vape.
So it's Dara's turn for bullshit.
Yeah,
this
it is
week.
my turn for bullshit. Yeah, and the bullshit I wanted to bring forth to you, Brian, is the fact that I've been putting on weight. And
Yes.
the
I've noticed.
yeah, thank you, and the process behind this.
Yeah.
This change.
This is on purpose. This
Yeah,
isn't
it's
accidental. putting on weight.
no, it's deliberate, and it's a fucking long time coming. It's like literally years in the making. I've been trying to put on weight for like 3 years.
Oh, poor you. Oh.
Oh yeah, I've been underweight though for
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
like legit forever. I don't know if there was ever a time that I was like a healthy weight, except maybe when I was like an actual child. But pardon me.
He's a burpy boy. From
I'm a very burpy
all those
boy.
energy drinks.
But yeah, and I've been putting on weight and it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
I feel ill.
Especially
all
if
of
you're
the
not used
time.
to it. Like,
Yeah. And like the way I've been doing it, right? Like the system I've developed is I cook myself a bunch of pasta and chicken,
yes.
preferably chicken. At the moment it's mince because I had mince on hand.
This
Right.
can be good.
Yeah, it's not bad. And then I cook it quite well. I'd like to say. If I do say so myself, the pastas I've gotten quite good at making the pasta. I add that Styrian cheese sauce from Aldi, and I add a tomato sauce.
Just make your own cheese sauce.
I know I could, but this one's like €19, and it lasts me like 3 massive servings of
okay.
pasta. So yeah, just make that shit. I carry that around with me all day, right? So I have to eat like at least half of the lunchbox full of pasta in a day.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I also boil at least 4 eggs every morning. And
Yeah, you were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
How you had a certain number of eggs.
Yes, and then I put the boiled eggs into a separate lunchbox, which I also carry with me throughout the day. And my goal is to eat all of those eggs before the day is out, right?
yeah.
And then I have a third lunchbox, which is full of like goodies and treats. So up until recently, it was like mini muffins. Lately, it's been like a couple slices of Madeira cake and as many fucking bourbons as I can fit into the thing.
Bourbons?
You know, bourbons like the chocolate biscuits. You know, bourbons.
Oh, bourbons. I
Yeah,
thought you said
yeah.
Birdmans.
No,
I was like,
Birdmans.
what the-
The virtue of ignorances.
yes.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's like the way that I've been doing it essentially, right, is it's like, okay, I have to shovel in as much pasta as I can, right? So I eat pasta until I feel full, right? And then I'm like, oh god, I should eat one of those fucking eggs so that I'm at least 1 egg down, you know, and then later on I'll have
Yeah,
less
the-
eggs to eat, right? So I
the eggs
force
get tough.
yeah, and then I
Yeah.
force the egg in, right? And then I'm like, okay, now I'm definitely too full. But I've got room for a bourbon, you know, so I like eat a couple biscuits and then I'm like, okay, now I just gotta squeeze in these slices of Madeira cake. I'm just constantly pushing the limit that little bit, and as a result, I frequently feel too full and unwell. It's a recurring problem. When we had dinner tonight in your house, I ate everything that was on the plate, which is rare for me. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I went back and got a shit ton more mashed potato and ate all of that. I ate until I was uncomfortable. That's the way that I've been doing it lately. Yeah. And it's, it's a hard way to live, man. It's a hard way to
pork
live.
pies.
Pork pie, are they fattening?
I think like 3 of them is like 600 calories or something.
No, that's not bad.
They're super fatty. There's like
Yeah.
Evan was talking about them earlier in the group chat. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Yes, he
Shout out
was.
to Evan.
I remember that. Yeah, shout out to Evan.
Anytime you say anyone's name, just shout out.
shout out to those people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, a funny thing about my eggs, right? Because I've been doing this for a while, like a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks now. I've been eating eggs every single day, like a certain amount of them. And like I say, it's at least 4. Sometimes I go for 5 if I'm being really adventurous. Or if I'm really testing myself, I should say. Right? First things first, egg number 3 is definitely the hardest egg of the day.
Oh, yeah?
Right? Yeah, because when I get to egg number 3, that's when it starts to get sickening. And it's like, that's when it's... eggs after... like, if you boil eggs and then you leave them all day and you go back to them, they just taste like the farts that you are going to fart out. Like that's what they taste like, and it's
maybe
sickening.
Poach them.
I've been thinking about shit like that, man.
I did that recently because I too, on days where I work out, I'll have 2 boiled eggs for breakfast and whatever else.
Yeah, just that bit of quick protein.
Yeah, before I work out. And some mornings you're just not in the mood for eggs, and they suck.
They do,
but
when you don't want them.
That kind of helped.
Yeah, something like that. I do need to mix it up.
Throw a bit of vinegar in the water and poach them in it.
What I've been thinking lately is pretty soon, not quite yet, but pretty soon, I'm going to start scrambling a shit ton of egg in the morning.
Scrambled egg can be really good if you get the right spices in there.
Yeah. So if I like scramble like 4 eggs in the morning and then put all my scrambled egg in a lunchbox, I feel like I could eat that throughout the day in little increments.
I feel like scrambled egg gets bad just like hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah, but I feel like at least it will mix it up for a little while, and then eventually when I get sick of that, I can go back to the hard-boiled.
One thing that's really a good hack for scrambled egg, salsa.
Oh, interesting.
Put in some salsa and just mix that in.
That does sound pretty good.
Gives it a bit more
zest. A little bit more. Yeah.
I used to do scrambled eggs, salsa, and spinach.
Yeah.
Just mix it around in a big bowl.
Yeah.
And that's a good breakfast. Like
that does sound pretty wholesome, I have to say. Funny on the topic of my eggs, right? I got a pretty weird phone call this morning when I was in work.
Oh.
Right, where I was there at like 9 a.m.
On your phone or the work phone?
Oh, on my phone. There's no work phone.
Oh, okay.
I got a call from my coworker Sive, who was in the other shop, the busy shop, and I was in the quiet shop on my own.
Okay.
I got this call, right, and she's like, Dara, what's the story? There are eggshells everywhere in the shop. And I was like, really? Fuck, did I leave eggshells everywhere last night? Because I remember peeling an egg, and then I remember going back into the back of the shop and being like, oh, I should throw out those eggshells, and they were gone. And I was like, oh, I must have already thrown them out. But then I was like, maybe they all fell on the floor and I didn't notice somehow. And then she kept talking about this, and I tried to explain to her, being like, oh, what I just explained there.
Yeah.
And then she was like, what? No, Dara, shut up. No. And then Mikey, my manager, took the phone from her, and he was like, Dara, what's the story? Did you forget to cook an egg or something? And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, man, did you like fuck up? And I was like, no. He was like, did you eat all your eggs yesterday? And I went, no, actually, I boiled 5 eggs. Okay. I boiled 5 eggs in the morning, and I ate 4 of them. And by the time I got to the end of the day, I was looking at my 5th egg, and I was like, you know what? Not today. I can't handle this today. So I just left the 5th egg. Why do you ask, Mikey? And he was like, God damn it! Because for the past 2 weeks, him and my other coworker Adam have been plotting to replace one of my eggs with a raw egg.
Yes.
And just through sheer chance, I left that egg.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they were raging. They were absolutely raging that I had.
That is so good.
They were trying to catch me out and
that's such a fucking coworker prank.
Oh yeah. I'm glad that I'm getting pranked now though.
Yeah,
Because Adam has always pranked Mikey, my manager, for as long as I've worked there.
That means you're becoming a regular now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Adam is good at pranking Mikey too, because Mikey is incredibly gullible.
To be fair, that's a good prank.
Yeah, it would have been.
Because what's the first thing you do when
out?
you're getting the shell off the egg?
I crack him with my ring. I've got a ring here. You just off the table.
Which would have if I was in that situation, not only is that like an fuck, it's also like, now I have to clean this table.
Yeah. That sounds annoying. I've got this ring on my middle finger, which I turn around so that the decorative part is like facing down towards my palm, and I just slap the egg a couple times all the way around in a circle, and then it's really easy to peel. It's a really easy egg cracking device.
That's a life hack.
Ring. It is. That is a life hack. That's a life hack right there. Now, see, we've brought it full circle. I think that worked out pretty well.
And I think might be a good place to end it.
Really? What time are we on? It's early, right?
1:23.
1:23. What was our last one?
I like that we went to full circle.
I do like that we went from full circle. Do we have anything else though? I feel like we might have other shit.
I want to talk about a thing. It was another thing that I watched, and I completely forgot to bring it up earlier in the podcast.
Well, sure, you can do it now.
Yeah, I'll do it now. This is a little extra bit for anyone who... I watched one of the best documentaries I have ever seen on Netflix.
What is it?
Jiro Dreams of Sushi.
What?
I've been watching a lot of Japanese stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like it, yeah.
And it's a documentary about this guy who makes like the best sushi in the world. And he's like a little old man who's just been doing sushi forever.
Wow.
That's what he does. And it's just about him making his sushi. But it's just such a well put together documentary, and it's really interesting. And like there's no like, and then there's like this crazy shit that happened in his life. No, he's just a dude who made sushi forever, and now he's really good at it. And he talks about like how he's worked at making sushi for his entire life. And
that sounds like a nice humble story.
It's such a good documentary. Yeah. It's so good. And there's like a whole bit where they have shots of like his sushi, and it looks amazing. And there's a whole bit that's like, he serves his sushi like his restaurant has 12 seats.
Yeah.
Only 12.
Only 12.
It's only ever had 12 seats. It's a like 3-star Michelin restaurant. Like that's like the best a restaurant can be. You have to
3
book
stars?
it. Yeah. You have to book it 5 stars at the hotel.
Interesting.
Michelin
I didn't know
stars.
That. What are Michelin stars? What's the difference?
I don't know. The Michelin man fucking...
Mitchell decided
Mitchell
the
decided.
3-star... maybe I am crashing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mitchell decided that
Mitchell from Modern Family.
He was like, it's not just 2 thumbs up, it's 3 thumbs up. But those thumbs are stars.
Yeah.
And then thus the Michelin 3-star system was born.
Yeah. Have I got... yeah.
It's just watch. I would suggest watching it. If you want something that will make you become passionate about whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
It's a really good motivation documentary. Like I watched it and then immediately went out to the kitchen and started cooking like something. I made like beef and rice and stuff.
That's cool. I've been taking an interest in cooking. I've been enjoying cooking lately. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite fun. Put up an Instagram story there during the week that was like, I was just really bored, and I was like, I'm gonna walk people through the process of me making dinner, which was pretty fun because it was
we should cook together.
We should cook together because I'm not very good at it, and I could learn. I would love to learn.
Teach you.
Yeah, because I like cooking for people, with people. I'm quite enjoying it.
Cooking is fun when you do it like with people. It's a good. I actually think a really good date night idea.
It's like cook together.
Cook together, yeah.
That does sound like good crack. To be fair.
It is good crack, and then at the end of it, you have like a meal that's you've both put effort into, and you both appreciate it.
And it's always weird when you're cooking for your friend and they're just sitting there waiting for food because they're looking at you a little awkwardly, and they're like, "I wish I could help. Is there something I can do? Can I help in some way?"
There was Finn stayed here a while back. And we were like, we found steaks in the fridge, and we were like, "Oh boy, let's make a rub for these steaks and go nuts." And he also cooks quite a bit, and he's very knowledgeable about it.
Yeah.
And I'm not to toot my own horn, but I think like I've got a pretty good handle on it. So we like combined our skills together and made like a really good dinner, and it was really cool.
Nice.
Cooking is great.
Yeah, it's cool when you
also if you want to eat healthy, you've got to learn how to cook for yourself if you want to eat healthy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now I haven't been quite eating healthily, but I've been eating better than I used to because I used to make I work a lot, so I make decent money, but for a while there I was just making decent money and not really having all that much that I had to spend it on. Yeah. So I was just like constantly eating like Subways and bullshit like that, and once you start paying your own rent in full, it suddenly occurs to you that like one Subway costs like €6, and you're like, with that €6, I could buy enough food to feed me for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to keep living like that.
Butchers.
Can't fucking do it. Yeah,
I've found that butchers are generally cheaper and better.
Which is weird, isn't it? Yeah, because the meat's so tasty.
Yeah, we have a butcher down the road that's just
Yeah, there's a butcher near my house.
Best burgers I've ever had.
And I've gone in there once or twice and just looked around, and I've yet to actually get anything delicious. Finn got from the butcher, the same butcher I'm referring to, just a massive...
Is that the Farm to Fork, or is that a different butcher?
I don't know. Is it? Yeah, I think it might be that one. It's the one. That's the one near Luigi's, is it?
Yeah, across from the Jasmine.
Yes, yeah.
Carlo.
Woo. Yeah, it's
Only Carlo kids will understand this one.
Finn got this massive slab, like this huge chunk of beef, of like steak, I guess. It's just beef. But he cut two little bits of it off and made steak out of it for us, and it was delicious. And then he like cooked it up into like some roast beef. That shit lasted him so long, and it cost him like €8. Then he got it at a butcher. A butcher seems to be the way to go, because you can make delicious meats with what they give you, and you can make that shit last you a long time.
So if Finn is listening to this right now, what I'm about to say is going to hurt him.
Oh no.
A little bit.
Oh no.
I made rice with steak the other night, and sake, mirin, and soy sauce.
Yeah.
Sauce with like vegetables in it, and I got a steak.
Yeah.
And I cut it into thin strips, like really thin strips.
Yeah.
And then I did the sauce and I did the rice, and at the very end I got those thin strips of steak. I like made a marinade for them with like brown sugar and Chinese 5-spice and all this stuff. I was kind of going for something Asian.
Yeah.
And
to prep yourself for
usually
Japan.
what you would do is you would do that like that. Well, it was based on gyudon, which is a Japanese like lunch dish. What you would do with that is you'd cook the steak in the sauce.
Yeah.
But I was like, I feel like that might make the steak a little bit tough.
Yeah.
So I cooked the steak separately at the very end.
Yeah.
Until it was like medium rare, tiny strips of steak. And it was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Cutting up a steak into little strips.
That was you.
That was me. I'm so sorry. Oh. Oh no, the podcast is ruined. We're done. We're done.
Over.
It's over.
Pack it up. We're selling the equipment.
If you want to send us an email, it's all on everything's on the screen.
No, hang on. Before we do that, I thought of 3 things I wanted to mention before the podcast is out.
Oh, okay.
1, Mini-Me died.
Oh,
like
Vern
literally,
Troyer,
like an hour ago.
Right
Mini-Me
before we
died.
started to record.
Yeah.
Vern Troyer passed away, which
Very,
sucks.
Yeah, that's sad.
He was doing a lot on YouTube and stuff at the moment.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't
he had
know
he had a cooking series that was really good.
Really?
So that sucks.
That does suck.
That's really shitty.
Yeah, so sorry to hear about that one. The other one is that a guy
R.I.P.
called R.I.P. What's his name again? What was his name again?
Vern Troyer.
Vern Troyer.
Yes.
R.I.P. Vern Troyer. The second thing was that a guy called Brian Grant added you on Facebook, which I think is gas.
Yeah. Actually, you know what I'm going to do right here on the podcast?
What, are you going to reprove?
Right now.
You're going to add him?
Right now.
Oh, or are you going to reject him? Cold-hearted rejection. What is it? What you go for?
Delete request. There can only be one. Nah, I'll hit him with the confirm. Why not? It's another Brian.
Yeah, not
now
just another
him,
Brian.
Me,
another
and that basketball player.
Man, will you turn your phone on silent for fuck's sake?
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't even know where it is.
Yeah. Whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah, I don't know. I have everything like muted, so I don't know why it's making noise.
That's grand. We're nearly at the end anyway.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks.
And then the last thing I wanted to mention is that Avicii died.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, which is pretty crazy. And the only reason I wanted to mention this, right, is because I wanted to admit what my first thought was when I found out that Avicii died, which is a pretty bad thought, I'm not going to lie. I was pretty disgusted with myself. I was like, Dara, that's not a sound first thought to have when someone dies. The first thought I had when Avicii died was, I was like, now who am I going to use as like my go-to reference for music I don't like? That was like my first thought.
Oh,
and
no.
I know, man, that's mean. But that being said, I am still kind of like, that's fucking crazy. I can't believe Avicii just died.
Yeah,
you know?
He was 28.
Yeah, man, that's
young.
young.
Super young. That's terrible.
Yeah, and it's just not just not who I was expecting to die next.
Yeah,
you know,
right?
Like,
someone came in and was like, "Oh, Avicii's dead," and I was like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, like for reals about this
I don't think
shit?
people can hear the dinging.
Yeah, if they can, it's very faint. And look, we all live in the 21st century. We get Facebook messages.
You talk to your friends while their phone's dinging.
Yeah. We've all been in school and had that that ding, and then the everyone looking around.
I like
and
how
just like, who's that?
we immediately dropped Avicii to justify ourselves.
Yeah. Sorry, Avicii.
R.I.P. Avicii.
R.I.P. Avicii. What was Avicii's real name? Do you know? I have no idea.
Are
you Googling it?
I have his Wikipedia open right now.
Oh, yeah?
Tim Bergling.
Tim Bergling?
Yeah.
Tim Bergling.
Tim Bergling.
I think that's better. I think that's better than Avicii.
He should have been Bergling. He should have been Tim Bergling, and his fans should have been called the Burglars.
The Birds, right?
Yeah.
Oh. My
Well,
God.
the
Well,
Aviciians?
now there's no time, Brian. Now you'll never get to use it.
Oh.
God damn.
Oh.
That's the real tragedy here.
R.I.P. Avicii.
R.I.P. Tim
and
Bergling.
all your burglars.
Yeah, all the burglars. To all the burglars out there, we know you're going through a hard time. Did he have that Hey Brother song?
Yes.
I fucking hate that song. But R.I.P. Avicii. I'm sorry that you're dead.
We
that does
are
suck.
going to hell.
Yeah, we are.
And with
but
that...
no, don't get me wrong, it does suck. It definitely sucks that he's dead.
Yeah, no.
But it doesn't change that I didn't like his music.
Oh, no.
No.
Of course not.
No.
I'm not going to like his music now that he's dead.
Yeah, but also R.I.P.
R.I.P.,
Definitely too young.
Definitely too young.
Yeah.
No one should die.
No, people should die, and I feel very strongly about this.
People should
we
die
need to die.
when they're going to die.
Yeah.
Not at 28.
Not at 28.
While you're
but I think there's
up and coming, not up and coming, but
not
like
up
a big
and, yeah,
DJ.
but there's I think that there's a sweet spot as well. I don't think you want to live to be like 97 years old, but just senile as fuck and not know what's going on, and you're just floating around.
He was in Oman when he died.
In what? Where?
The Sultanate of Oman. It's an
Sultanate
Arabic country. It's down in the Arabian Peninsula.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Whether that has anything to do with it,
He was
I
in a
don't know.
hotel or
They have
something,
not
right?
said what it is.
Yeah, I have no idea.
He had appendicitis recently,
Yeah.
and he had to stop performing.
As soon as I found out, I was like, drugs? Is it
Yeah,
drugs? It's gotta be
immediately
drugs.
I was like,
Because
drugs,
his music is like club music. Wouldn't really surprise me if it was drugs, and that's probably a bad thing
I'm
to say.
pretty sure he was into ecstasy.
It sounds like he was into ecstasy based off of the drops that he
Yeah.
put in his music.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Avicii.
R.I.P. Avicii.
Now that we've
R.I.P. Tim Bergling.
sufficiently
Now that we've
slandered
yeah,
you,
yeah, completely shit on your
Mr. Burglar,
on
burgling,
your legacy.
and to all those burglars out there,
Yeah.
just keep going. It'll get better.
Yeah, just keep burgling.
There's an endless road to rediscover.
That's good. I think that's a good place to leave it. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Links to all of our social medias will be in the description and our email.
And in the
if you want to
thumbnail.
send us an email, please send us an email.
Yes.
We like it. If you made it this far in the podcast, hit that subscribe button.
Hit that like button as well.
We just ripped off Philly D there.
Did we? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty standard thing to say, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of whatever.
Yeah. Fuck
Do
it.
that though.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Hit subscribe.
Or else.
Hit subscribe.
All right, we don't want another Avicii on our hands.
Okay. Okay, I think we're taking this a bit far now.
No, because at this point we're just gonna have to start threatening people to like and subscribe. So yeah, I know where you all live.
Oh yeah, individually. We're the
Facebook
ones
told
who've
me.
been buying the shit off
told
Facebook.
me,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was translation lost all along.
Yes.
Yeah, so
We're the puppet masters.
So it's Translation Lost Podcast on Facebook, at TLostPod on Twitter, translationlostpod@gmail.com.
If you want to send us an email.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We're Translation Lost Podcast.
We'll be better at this next week. Woo!